Hey family, quick check-in with some hot talk. If these videos have been hitting home, here's how you can help carry the message further. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Pass it on to someone who's in a fight, someone who's been down but not out. Let's remind the world that our God has always used underdogs. Thanks for tuning in. Your support means the world to me. Here we go. A few minutes for us, underdogs and strugglers in the Bible. Ever thought your struggles might be setting you up and not shutting you down? What if delay, disappointment, or detour was God's way of designing a bigger and better breakthrough for you? My name is Tony Lewis again, and here I am, y'all. And it's my plum-pleasing pleasure, as usual, to share with you today a few minutes for us. The U is for underdogs, and the S is for strugglers in the Bible. Ah, my God. Today, we will give you a snapshot of a spiritual character, the story in a picture, the struggle principle, the success principle, and a lesson to practice. You know, I always say we got to do something. We got to do something of underdogs and strugglers in the Bible. Let me tell you about the 24th biblical character we will look at today. The woman with the issue of blood. The woman with the issue of blood. She witnessed a welcoming God. She witnessed a welcoming God, y'all. Her story is in Mark chapter 5, verse 25. Also, it's in Luke 8, 43, 48. Also, Matthew 9, 20 to 22. She had a journey of hurt, hope, and healing. She was bleeding and broken. She battled a blood disease for 12 long years. What? 12 years? She was bankrupt and burdened. She spent all her savings on many doctors. They took her money, y'all. They took her money. She believed and was bold. She believed that touching the garment of Jesus would bring her healing. She touched the hem of Jesus' robe in faith. She was blessed and better. Immediately, her bleeding stopped. Check it out. Check it out. Let me tell you about her struggle. She was a sick, suffering, shut-out sister. She was bleeding for 12 long years. Lord have mercy. She was weak, worn, and weary. She spent all her money on doctors. She was broke, y'all. Ain't had no bucks. But still was not well. She was branded and barren. No cure, no comfort, just constant pain. My goodness. She was separated socially. No one could touch her. She was spiritually shut out, unclean and unloved. Her heart was broke. She was silently struggling, hoping for healing, but feeling forgotten. You ever been there? Let me tell you about her success. She went from brokenness to blessing. She went from brokenness to blessing. She heard, she hoped, she held on, she heard about Jesus, the healer, full of hope. She hoped for help despite her history of hurt. She humbly approached Jesus on the down low, longing to be healed. She reached out and held his hem, and her healing happened. She was healed instantly and honored publicly. Her faith was highlighted. Jesus called her daughter, giving her a dignity and delight. But what's the lesson? What's the lesson? God honors faith that pushes through the crowd to touch him. God honors faith that pushes through the crowd to touch him. When you struggle, like the woman with the issue of blood, because it's coming, y'all, and you're sick in your body, living with pain and fatigue, and hidden health battles, when you're bleeding emotionally and you're suffering in your soul, weighed down by anxiety, grief, or depression, when you've been betrayed relationally and you feel shut out socially and people avoid you, ignore you, and kick you to the curb, that ain't right. When you feel broke financially and you spent all your savings trying to fix therapies and treatments that did not work, when you have been blocked spiritually and you feel spiritually stuck, far from God, unsure if He still sees you, when you're silently struggling, smiling on the outside while crying on the inside, Lord have mercy, when you're somehow still standing, but your hope feels faint, your faith feels fragile. Remember, when you succeed through your struggle by believing boldly and having received your breakthrough to Jesus, because you heard a word of hope from someone who reminded you that Jesus still heals and He still helps. He's a good God. And when you've held on to His word and you refuse to let your past pain prevent future possibilities. Let me say that again. And when you held on to His word and refused to let your past pain prevent future possibilities. My God, that's good, y'all. Ah! When you humbly reached out, praying, seeking, and pressing past the crowd of distractions and made contact with Jesus through faith-filled action. We got to move, y'all. We got to move. When you're healed in your heart, even before the outward change and peace floods your soul, and you're honored by heaven, and Jesus calls you His own, giving you value and validation, and you're highlighted for His glory, and your story becomes someone else's survival guide. Let me say that again. You're highlighted for His glory, and your story becomes someone else's survival guide. Remember the lesson. God honors faith that pushes through crowd to Him. God honors faith that pushes through the crowd to touch Him. To God be the glory. I'm out, y'all. Huh?